Hi YouTube, Repo Man 64. This is going to be the most difficult video I've ever made because I need to be able to articulate it properly to you so you understand the importance of this video. How do I start? You know the story of Job. Job, just going through his life, he loves God. He does everything right. God loves him. God's blessed him immensely. And Satan comes along. And God says, what do you think about Job? I kind of look at it like he was kind of testing Satan on this one. Of course, God is omnipotent. He's everywhere and everything. So he knew the statement that Satan was going to make. And that statement was, Job loves you because you've given him everything. If you take everything away from him, the true Job will come out and he won't love you. And so God grants Satan permission to do the most horrifying things to him. And through it all, he keeps his faith. He does question. He does have questions, but it's not a question of his faith. At the end of this thing, I'm going to tell you that we know now, because of this story, I believe now that the rapture, and I believed it's close, but this actually gives me probably the most confirmation of anything I've ever seen on YouTube as to the fact that this is about to happen. This rapture is about to happen. So I'm trying to tell the story properly. Let me go here. So this is the end of the story. God blesses Job. I believe, if I recall, God gives him an extra 15 years. He returns, I don't recall if it was sevenfold or twofold, twice as much or 7 times as much as he had, but he replaces his children exactly. And a lot of people are like, well, why didn't he have twice as many children? He did. His other children are in heaven. So he wound up with twice as many children on the other side. God, in order for this story, for us to understand in our present time, could not kill Job, because we, in our present condition on this planet and in our present bodies, cannot see beyond what we can see. There's a lot of dimensions. There's angels around you right now. I was in a church once and Pastor Bob was up there going, and I was like, what is he doing? He's like, do you know that you're surrounded by angels right now? They're all around you constantly. And as you speak or do anything, everything is recorded. You can't see them. I'm standing in this room and I'm all alone, but I'm not. There's angels all around me. We just can't see them. So in order for us to understand the story of Job, God could not kill him. He couldn't kill him and then say, oh, guess what? On the other side, he's got twice as much stuff. Couldn't do that. He had to leave Job alive and give him worldly things. For us, worldly, three-dimensional, what are we, three-dimensional, four-dimensional? What can we say? I don't even recall. But in our reality, in order for us to understand the story of Job, it had to be that Job was rewarded here. It is a symbol of the reward that Job actually got on the other side. I want you to meet somebody. And this is going to tug at your heartstrings. Be ready for it. This is probably the most serious video I've ever made. I'm in Discord, and I've been reading stories, and I see everybody's just pretty much going back and forth, telling things that's going on in their lives, and her name is Colleen, and I've read her stories before, but she never really put it all together. She's so humble. And she literally is in there talking to other people about their problems and praying for them and their problems, which is fantastic. And we all have them. I don't know about you, but with the economy and everything else that's going on, we're tanking, we're going broke. But I have faith that God is going to take us and that everything's going to be okay. Isn't that fantastic? I have faith in that. That even though we're kind of, I'm not losing everything, but we've lost quite a bit, and it's very hard when you're praying about things and then you meet somebody like Colleen. Suddenly, everything that I stress over and worry about is completely irrelevant. I mean, completely irrelevant. So I want you to meet her. Here she is. I'm going to give you a detailed story of her so you can know her a little bit. Colleen on the Wall. She's in our Discord. You can go in there and talk to her yourself. I'm going to put a link in there, and you can come into Colleen and talk to her. If enough people show up to speak to her, I will create a room specifically for her. So you can talk directly to her. And I want you to meet somebody. I want you to meet somebody who has the faith that I only dream of. I think I'm faithful and I'm praying and I'm watching and everything else. And then this person comes along with this story. I'm having a hard time with it because I had no idea. She's so helpful in the Discord to other people and their problems. And she's literally got the worst problem in the world. Here she is. She said, yes, he is, and I'm not worried, not even a little. He made me a promise, and I know his voice. This is what catches my attention about her story. I heard a little bit about her story before, but I didn't know it was this serious until just a few moments ago. As I ran in here to make this video, I asked her permission, and I told her I'm going to try to do it justice. And I hope I am. And I know his voice well. He told me he was coming and I would not die. He also told me he would heal me, and not on this side of heaven, like Job. So if I won't die, he will heal me on the other side in heaven. I don't have my glasses on, so I can barely read. On the other side of heaven, then that leaves rapture. I've actually been carrying this promise since 2017, but God hadn't called me to watch yet, so I wasn't able to put it together. Okay. She gets a promise. She has a condition. Here it says digestive system. Of course, I took off my glasses. Sorry about that. Digestive system is completely paralyzed, and I have bad episodes and almost die, but God always pulls me back. She's almost died several times. She's been in hospice, and God has brought her back. And why is God bringing her back? Because God made a promise to her that she was not going to see death, that she was going to see the rapture. So we go on down, and I'm reading all this, and I'm literally tearing up. I don't tear up. I'm literally tearing up over this. And I come down here and I ask her, I said, so wait, God made you a promise years ago that you would live to see the rapture, and you're living with a terminal condition. You have been admitted once again into the hospital, and each time they tell you it's hopeless, yet here you are. God promised you a perfect body at the rapture. So as a result of this promise and your condition, you know the rapture is soon to happen. And then I tell her I read parts of this, but I really didn't grasp the whole story because there's so much going. There's almost 600 people in this Discord, and I create rooms so that if you have a discussion room or a person that you want to speak to, you can go into that room and talk directly to them, so that it doesn't get all mungled up with a bunch of, you lose stuff. So this is actually probably not even the right room for this discussion. As you can see at the top, I don't want to say that, but you can see it. So I said, I told her, I says, I've heard testimonies my whole life, and this one's absolutely compelling. I've never heard a testimony like this before in my life. I want to do this. I didn't know, but she had, and I subscribed to her channel. I'd like you to subscribe to her channel. This is her channel. Let me scroll down a little bit. Oops. This is her channel here. And I watched this video. I want you to go into her channel and watch this video. She's Job. She is a real life Job, and she's gone just through it and through the entire process. When she's in Discord, she's actually helping other people. If only we could stop whining about the things that we have going on, because I'm whining about what's going on with me. I'm just as guilty as anybody else. And look at this poor lady right here. I mean, we have 500 something people in here. I'd like to see, well, I have 3,000 people on YouTube. I'd like to see 3,000 people. Please pray for Colleen. Please pray for Colleen. God has promised her that she will see the rapture. And she's in the hospital right now. Right now, she's in the hospital. She's been admitted again. And I've never seen such faith in my life. My whole life, I've never seen anybody this faithful. Please watch.
Tears on the sleeve of a man. Don't wanna be a boy today. I heard the eternal footman bought himself a bike to race. And Greggy writes letters and burns his CDs. They say there was something in those formative years. Well, hold on to nothing as fast as you can. Well, still pretty good, yeah. Pretty good. Maybe a bright Sunday beach is gonna bring you back, back. Maybe not, so now you're old. You're gonna see America. Well, let me tell you something about America. Pretty good, yeah. Pretty good. Some things are melting now. So
All right. Please subscribe to her channel and pray for her. Give back to Colleen as much as she's given to everyone in Discord. It's amazing what she's done in there, how selfless she is. I've never taken a dime, received a dime, asked for a dime, looked for a dime, cared about a dime whatsoever on this Discord or on this YouTube. Never. And I'm not even going to ask anything for Colleen. If you want to come to the Discord and chat directly with her, that's up to you. I stay away from any of that stuff because it's so difficult to determine who's actually in need and who's actually just trying to get stuff. There's a lot of people that are crooked like that. So I just stay completely away from financial issues whatsoever. I've had people contact me offering me all kinds of stuff to do my videos, and I said, no, I don't want anything. I'd rather do this on my laptop and in my little room, standing here in front of a dresser, in front of a computer, than to ask for anything. But if anyone, the most important thing is There's two most important things here. The most important thing is please pray for her. There's over 3,000 people following my YouTube now, and I appreciate that. Thank you. I'd like to see over 3,000 people say a prayer for Colleen more than anything. And I want you to notice her promise from God. She's on the edge. She's back in the hospital. She should have never made it this long. And you can go talk to her directly. I didn't get too in depth in that. I didn't know she was so helpful to everyone else. She wasn't even worried about herself. And here I find out she's in a hospital bed with IVs and everything in her, and she's in there helping other people. What faith is that? That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. I had to come on here and make this video. I saw it literally 20 minutes ago. And the way my videos work is I'll be sitting there and I'll be reading the Discord or watching YouTube videos, and I'll be like, oh, that's a good subject. And God puts it on my heart, and I come in here and I have a video. And I believe that most of the people that I watch on YouTube are the same way. Something nags at you. Something tells you you need to talk about this. And it might be one of those 3,000 people that are following my YouTube or subscribe to my YouTube that need to hear this today. There might be somebody else out there that's very sick, and they need to hear this today. This woman is terminal, and her faith is bigger than mine. It's incredible to watch. And because of that, it gives me faith. Thank you, Colleen. You give me strength. I don't even know how you're going through what you're doing and everything that's happened in her life as a result of what she's going through. She's explained a little bit about it, and I'll let her do that if she chooses to in the Discord. But that promise, we've been watching Tisha B'Av, Tu B'Av, the Last Trumpet, the Feast of Trumpets. When's it going to be? We're trying to figure it out. And here's Colleen. She knows. God promised her. When she gets in there and she's at that last breath, they've actually admitted her to hospice. She wasn't supposed to walk out of there, but God keeps healing her, and the doctors, I imagine, are amazed at that. So what an encouragement. This is probably the most important video I've ever made. By far. This is incredible. I'm going to put a link down in the comment section for you to go in there. And if there's enough people that jump in there that really want to talk to Colleen, that's up to you. And I'll make her own room, all by herself, her own room, and you guys can discuss whatever you want in her room with her. We have moderators in there that we monitor everybody's room to make sure that things are kept nice. If we get a side text to say this person's in here doing this, we'll go in and deal with that. But for the most part, I'm telling 99.9% of the time, our Discord is clean, straight. We've had to step in a couple of times, but it's been amazing. It's a very safe place to go. And I don't even know how long Colleen's been in there. I've seen her name pop. Like I said, you're talking 500 something people talking in there, and I'm like trying to keep up. And if I go to sleep for 4 or 5, 6 hours and I wake up in the morning, there's no keeping up with all that. It's a lot of stuff. So come on in there and talk directly with her. You can get her story directly from her. I asked her, I said, can I please make a video about this? Because I have never heard of somebody this close getting a promise like she got. You know what that tells me? That tells me it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. This could happen at any second. So let me get this video uploaded before it does happen and nobody gets to see it. And if it does happen, I want this video out there for the others who are going to come to Christ after this. I want as many videos as I can have out there to let them know faith. Did you know Jesus has many names? God has many names, and one of them is faith. That's one of his names, faithful. To have faith is to have Jesus. It's not something you grab yourself and hold on to. name it faith and hold on to it. This is my faith. No, Jesus' name is faithful. Jesus has many names. Wonderful, fantastic, precious, awesome, Alpha, Omega. He has so many names. And one of those is faith. Do you have faith? Go to a quiet place by yourself. Nobody needs to know. You don't need to tell anybody. And ask Jesus to come into your heart. Watch the change. And if we only had a percentage of the faith that Colleen has, it's going to be a wonderful eternity. All right. Repo Man 64. Wow. We'll talk to you guys later. Have an amazing weekend. How do I stop this thing? I always do this. Here we go.